Hi, and welcome to another at-home lesson from Grace in Motion. If this is your first time here, then I encourage you to go to gimsimple.net, our website, check out introductory material there. Also, on our website, you will find another video that walks you through some of the steps leading up to each lesson. We call those pray, go, baptize, and then this is the teach part. So for those of you that are continuing on in the series of John, the Gospel of John, we're going to jump into John 13, and this one is called A New Command. So please find a Bible or a device that you can use to read John 13 in the New Testament. Start there. And as always, as you read that together with others or on your own, reflect and discuss about what you notice or observe and what you wonder or question about this section of Scripture. So go ahead and read through that and then pause the video and have that conversation. Another thing that you can do is to discuss the questions of what you learn about people from this passage and what you learn about Jesus as well. So go ahead and pause the video and discuss that now. All right, so continuing on with John 13, looking at verses 6 through 10, what we have is Jesus washing Peter's feet. And I find the relationship that and the recorded exchanges that we have between Peter and Jesus throughout the New Testament just to be absolutely fascinating. I really learn a lot about God. I really learn a lot about the human condition, and even myself through a reflective of Peter, through these interactions between Jesus and Peter. There's a lot of great material there. In verse 12, Jesus says, "Do you understand what I have done for you?" And, really, I always highlight the questions that Jesus asks throughout Scripture. They're really profound questions, and they have like layers to them. And then in verse 15, Jesus says, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet." So now that I have done something for you and as an example to you, you can do this for others, which he explicitly states in verse 16, "I have set an example that you should do as I have done for you." So this foundation for the context of his teachings is laid here with yet another visual, practical, concrete illustration of all of these teachings about service and love. So what we have here, as you continue through John 13, is a pretty dramatic teaching, especially when you get to verse 34, where it says that a new command I give you, love one another. Now, to be real honest with you, that's not a new command. The command to love has always been there, to love your neighbor. That has been there even in the Old Testament. What is different now is the next part. This is what makes it a new command. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. So this is a very big deal that we focus in on what Jesus did, what Jesus said, how Jesus treated people, and how he taught. All of these things. Jesus is the gospel. Jesus is the good news. Jesus is the illustration of what love is supposed to look like. And so then in verse 35, by this, talking about that love, all men, all people will know that you are my disciples. This is how people will know you are truly a follower of Christ, if you love one another. So this is the litmus test for discipleship. So how does the "as I have loved you," that should say loved you, as I have loved you, that part of Jesus's command, how does that help us realize what Christianity really should be in practical terms? So take some time to reflect on that and discuss that as a group. All right, well, this lesson was pretty short. It's to the point. As Jesus loved, that's how we are to love. So hopefully you had some good discussion and prayer time together. Share something that someone else said or did that impacted you during this time. And as always, act with grace and simplify faith. Have a great day.